What's good, YouTube? It's the Course of Earth and Prophecy, and yeah, man. So today's video is going to be about the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now I noticed that everybody is expecting the Lakers to go to the finals. I mean, obviously the NBA and the media have has been pushing the agenda heavy. You know what I'm saying? Um, if these two teams don't meet in the NBA Finals, that would be a travesty to a lot of players or a lot of fans. Seemingly everybody is healthy at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want a 70% LeBron James. We don't want an 80%, you know, AD. We don't want a, 50% Kyrie, of 60%, James Harden. We want them at their best. Uh, like I said before, I'm not a really big fan of super teams because I think it minimizes the competition a little bit. You know, not that they can't be beaten because they can. It's just that the level of competition sucks. You know, and I think Zion Williamson is bringing that old school type of ball game to the league. He don't really shoot that many threes. If you really watch his game, he's more of a paint attack type of dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the same way myself. When I play 2K, uh, I usually like to attack the paint because I know one, I'm either gonna get a foul in I'm either gonna get a foul or I'm gonna shoot two at the line. Now sometimes it may not work because there's been a lot of times where I used to go to the hoop, get hammered, and then they don't call it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why James Harden is good at what he does is because he knows that the referees are going to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can always initiate the foul. Like he knows how to initiate the foul, just like how Dwayne Wade used to do it. So he's taking the page out of Dwayne Wade's book. But so yeah, so those two teams meet, um, which obviously they're gonna have to get through the competition. You know what I'm saying? They're not just gonna cakewalk through the competition like everybody thinks they are. Especially if unless the competition is up to par. We all know that Murray went down with a torn ACL. He's out for the season. So you got LaMelo Ball who's out. You got you know, you got Murray who's out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and Jimmy Butler had a scared, had like I don't know if it was his leg or his shin or his ankle, whatever. Like he was grimacing in pain and stuff. So a lot of these dudes are getting hurt, and the NBA is gonna have to look into that. Like should we reduce the games to 72 instead of 82? You know what I'm saying? That's probably going to be in discussion in the near future, because everybody likes a short season. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to play 82 games? You know? Like, you could bring it down to 72 games, and then you could play it just like how you're playing right now. Less back to backs, you know what I'm saying? More time off, you know? But again, it may not look good for the league because, they want as much basketball as possible. Whether you playing back to back or you playing four straight game, not really four straight, but unless you're playing like three straight, two straight, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have to manage that. So now, obviously, the Lakers did hammer the Nets, but at the time, no James Harden, no Kevin Durant, and no Kyrie Irving, if I'm not mistaken. So the Lakers was just playing. The Lakers was just playing the bench. To be honest with you, um, but If they were to meet in the finals, who do I have winning? I don't necessarily care. I don't care who wins. If it's the Lakers, then I'll be all right with that. If it's the Nets, it might sting, but I won't give no credit to the Nets whatsoever. Because the Nets, the thing that people have to understand about the Nets, and New Jersey fans can understand that. Like people that was in New Jersey could understand that. They were born into super teams. To be honest with you, Dr. J, Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at their track record. Their track record is full with superstars. You know. So now that the Nets got the big three, like they have the lowest defense efficiency in the NBA. So that means that they can't stop a nosebleed. And guess who's the right team against that? I mean, and guess who's the right team for them? The 76ers. Because the 76ers can throw bodies at them. Aldridge, he doesn't play defense. He's more like a Paul Gasol type. He got slow feet. He can't move. Blake Griffin, he can play defense here and there. He's not really a rim protector, but if he needs to block, you are like we saw his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Blocking Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? So he can play defense. It's not like he can't play defense. Sometimes he just chooses not to play defense, but when he plays defense, he's pretty darn good. You know, you got James Harden who don't play defense at all. But then again, James Harden can give you a steal here or two. Kyrie Irving can give you a steal here or two. So, I mean, it is what it is. It kind of reminds me of my New York Giants in '07, where was it '07? No, it was 2011 where we were ranked dead last in NFL in rushing, right? We were ranked dead last in the NFL in rushing. But what happened when we got into the playoffs? We turned it up. We rushed about like a buck, 72 with Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. So that notion that the Nets don't play defense, they do. They can, but they just choose not to because they focus so much on defense. And people also have to understand that when you play basketball, it's a two-way street. It's not like football where you have to rely on your defense every single down because you get one possession each snap. So if you score the ball, you have to be on the bench, and then you have to hope and pray that your defense comes through and seal the deal or give you another takeaway. You know, but in basketball, it's a two-way street. It's either you score and then you have to go right back on defense. You know, so and trust me, I used to do a lot of suicide drills. I mean, my legs were hurting after practice, boy. Like it was not even funny. Felt like I couldn't even move my damn leg. But like I said, basketball's a two-way street. You can't play defense. You cannot put your all on offense and bail out on defense because it's not gonna look good at all. So if I had to choose a team if I had to choose a team in the playoffs that's going to win between the Nets and the Lakers, I would have to say the Lakers because they've been there before. Even without the pieces, they still added very good pieces. It may not have been the pieces that they wanted, but you got a Dennis, you got a THT, you got still Caruso, you got you know Wesley Matthews, you got KCP, you got that dude that they picked up from Houston. He's doing pretty good. So you got, and then obviously you got Paul Gasol, and you got AD, you got Drummond, you got LeBron James. So that should be enough to dethrone the Nets, because the Nets bench sucks. It really does. Unless they put Blake on the bench, and start DeAndre Jordan and let DeMarcus Aldridge and Blake comes off the bench, because that's the only production I see that those two can get, because yeah, those two are really good big men that can shoot. Like I said, Blake can play defense when he wants to. Aldridge, he could play defense in the paint when he wants to, but they're very good shooters, especially Blake from the perimeter, and Aldridge can shoot threes. So if I was the Nets and Steve Nash, I would put those two on the bench and just start the starting five. My starting five would be the starting five: Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant, who's ever Harris and Jordan. That would be my starting five if I was a Nets fan. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie, James, Kevin Durant, Harris, and Jordan. That would be my starting five, and then the bench would obviously be Aldridge, Blake, and then the rest of the crew. But like I said, I have the Lakers winning this one if they were to meet up in the playoffs. But like I said, man, the media is just pushing this narrative way too fast. You know, it's like they're predicting the finals before it even happens. Like they throwing the Nets in our faces. They throwing the damn late, cause we all know the West and the East. There's really no competition. There's really nobody that can stop the Nets in the 7 game series. There's really nobody that can stop the Lakers in the 7 game series, except for the Clippers. The Clippers and the Sixers are the only two teams, in my opinion, that can stop either of those teams, or that can either force a game 7. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, it's going to be the Lakers and the Nets in the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if, LeBron James, somehow managed to beat this, three-headed monster in Brooklyn, a lot of people might say, oh, the GOAT debate is over. Like Michael Jordan, struggled to beat Isaiah Thomas. So when he had, like Michael, like there's a lot of conspiracy theories that they said that Michael Jordan waited for them to get old, because before Scottie Pippen got there, before Dennis Rodman got there, he was losing in the finals. I mean, he was losing in the playoffs a lot, getting bounced out in the first, second round. That's when Michael Jordan had Dennis Rodman and had Scottie Pippen, that they started winning. And by then, Isaiah Thomas was probably like around 28, 29, 30 years old at the time. So they were all past their primes. So, I mean, it is what it is, though. But like I said, if they were to meet in the finals, I would have the Lakers winning that series in 5. But like I said, it all has to come full circle. Until then, Clippers in 6.